Have you ever held something in your hands and felt like it had a story, even before you knew anything about it? That's how language works too. Sometimes you don't understand the meaning right away. But if you keep it close, it begins to unfold. One of the best ways to learn English is through stories. Because stories show you how language lives, breathes, and surprises you. If you're ready to experience English through meaning, emotion, and discovery, subscribe to NativeFlow and leave us a comment. The market in Oaxaca was alive with color. Bright fabrics, painted ceramics, dried chilies, woven baskets. The air smelled like roasted corn and lime. Voices mixed in the air, Spanish, laughter, music from a distant speaker. Soraya moved slowly between stalls, her fingers brushing over handmade things. She wasn't looking for anything. But her eyes kept moving. And then she saw the mask. It was hanging on a wooden hook near the back of a tiny booth. Not large, not shiny. It was made of dark wood, carved by hand. The lines were rough, honest. The eyes were narrow, the mouth closed tight, but peaceful. She asked, "Where is this from?" The old man behind the table looked up. "Mixtec," he said. "Old story. Very old." She held it carefully. It was lighter than it looked. "I just like the shape," she said. He nodded slowly, then leaned closer and whispered, "Keep it close. It will happen to you." She blinked. "What will?" He just smiled and said, "You'll know." She laughed, unsure. But something about the way he said it made her quiet. She bought the mask. That night, back in her room, she placed it on the table. It looked back at her, calm. Still. Nothing happened. The next day, she left the city. She took a bus to the mountains, to a small village she'd read about once. It wasn't part of her plan. But something pulled her there. The road curved through green hills and low clouds. Children waved from the roadside. Time moved slowly. In the village, everything felt like a dream. The houses were painted in soft colors. The people greeted her with kind eyes but didn't ask questions. She stayed in a room above a bakery. At night, she heard drums far off in the hills. In the morning, she walked without direction. On the third day, a woman invited her into a courtyard. No English. No Spanish. Just gestures. They drank tea together. The woman pointed to Soraya's bag. She had brought the mask with her, just in case. She showed it. The woman nodded slowly and touched her heart. Then she took Soraya's hands and said one word. Recuerdo. Soraya didn't know what it meant. Not fully. But it stayed in her mind. When she got back to her room, she looked it up. Memory. That night, she dreamt of a story she'd never heard. A dance in the dark. A fire. A mask. A promise. When she woke up, her heart was beating fast, but calm. She didn't write anything down. She just looked at the mask, and whispered. It's happening. In today's story, you learned expressions like, something pulled her there, she laughed, unsure, and, her heart was beating fast, but calm. These are real, natural phrases that help you express emotion and rhythm in English like a native speaker. We tell stories like this every day on NativeFlow to help you learn English through emotion, story, and sound. Like this video, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, have you ever bought something that changed the way you felt? See you in the next video.